What was your significant other's first pet and its name? Hmm. The answer is a hamster named Tickler. And this is how Natalie learned to be gentle to creatures.
What was my first pet and its name? His name was Tickler, and he was a hamster, and that is where I learned to be gentle. What was your significant other's first pet and its name? Well, the only pet that I can ever think of that Alex has ever had is a cat named Portfolio. So if there was anyone before that, I don't know of it.
What was your first pet and its name? My first pet that I can remember was named Little Sweet, and it was a hamster. It was how I learned to be gentle to creatures and people. What is your significant other's celebrity crush? Natalie's celebrity crush is Natalie Portman.
What is my celebrity crush? Well, that's kind of hard to think about because, first of all, I don't know many celebrities, but second of all, I don't really know of one right now. But I'm going to A, usurp the one that I said for Alex as my girl crush, being Natalie Portman, and B, I'm going to go ahead and say Johnny Depp because I very much enjoy all of the roles that he plays because they're very interesting. Okay, this one's really hard. What is your significant other's celebrity crush? First of all, I don't really know mine. Second of all, I don't even know if Alex has one. So here goes. What would Alex's celebrity crush be? Oh, gosh. I don't know. Natalie Portman.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Yo!
What was your significant other's favorite movie? I think Natalie's favorite movie is Across the Universe.
What is my favorite movie? I really enjoyed Across the Universe, the one about the Beatles songs, because it was very pretty to watch. What is your significant other's favorite movie? This one's really easy. It's Analyze This, That, and all of those other ones.
What's my favorite movie? Analyze this. Where would your significant other ideally retire? I think that Natalie would ideally retire in Barcelona. But
Where would I ideally retire? Everywhere that I said for Alex. Where would your significant other ideally retire? Well, this is probably lots of places. So maybe somewhere in California, maybe Spain, maybe Australia. There are so many awesome places. I don't know.
where would I ideally retire? Well, I would ideally retire in the countryside of New Zealand on a hobby farm. How do you believe that your significant other has changed the most over the 7 years that you have dated? I think that Natalie has changed the most by becoming more professional and meticulous and refined in her artwork while still retaining her creativity.
How have I changed most significantly over the past 7 years that we've dated? Probably I've become more diligent and kind of focused on perfection than I was. I still am kind of crazy and out there, but I dial it in more now. How do you believe your significant other has changed over the 7 years that you've dated? He has become chiller. Yeah.
How do you believe you have changed the most over the 7 years that I have dated Natalie. I think I have learned to open up to people a lot more and have close friendships where I can talk about in-depth stuff with people better. How does your significant other like their coffee? Natalie likes her coffee like she likes her women, cold and bitter. How do you think your significant other likes their coffee? I think Natalie likes some cream and a little bit of sugar in her coffee.
How do I like my coffee? I like it with an average amount of cream and no sugar. How does your significant other like their coffee? Well, you should probably ask, how does your significant other like his cream? Because he puts coffee in his cream.
How do I like my coffee? Well, I like three kinds of coffee. I like cinnamon dolce lattes, mochas, and for just general coffee, I like a lot of sugar and a lot of cream. What would be your significant other's favorite last meal? Um, Probably it would be something like Chin's Asia Fresh.
What would my ideal last meal be? I would say, screw it. My ideal last meal is dessert, and I would have um, a malt with peanut butter and Oreos, and then I would have a chocolate cake, and then I would have, um, well, really lots more types of desserts. What would your significant other's ideal last meal be? Zatarain's rice. Lots of it.
What would my ideal last meal be? Oh, I would like a big Middle Eastern spread, hummus, falafel, chicken, lamb, pita, tabbouleh, tzatziki sauce, all that. What is the most nerdy slash guilty pleasure TV show your significant other has ever watched? Hmm. She will probably say Glee about herself, but I think it's Firefly.
What is the most nerdy guilty pleasure TV show that I have ever watched? Alex is probably gonna say Glee, but I really don't feel like that's that nerdy because everybody watches it. Um, I don't know. I don't know if I have a better answer for that. I don't know. Probably that, I guess. What is the most nerdy guilty pleasure TV show your significant other has ever watched? That would depend on whose definition of nerdy we're going with. But the show that he likes the most that I really hate is Bleach, because I think it's a terrible anime. But he might have a different answer.
What's the most nerdy guilty pleasure TV show I've ever watched? Well, Natalie will probably say Bleach, the anime. That's pretty close. But there's another anime called Yakutate Japan, which is entirely centered around bread making. And I've watched all 260 episodes. What is your significant other's first concert? I think it is either the Spice Girls or the Backstreet Boys.
What was my first concert? Oh God, I'm ashamed to admit this. Backstreet Boys. And I threw up at it, so I feel like that kind of validates it. What was your significant other's first concert? As far as I know, it was like the X Fest or something ridiculous like that.
What was my first concert? Geez, first one I can remember is X Fest. It had Slipknot and Disturbed, and that's all I can remember. Corn, I think, too. What is your significant other's least favorite food? Let's go with Cane's fried chicken.
What is my least favorite food? Pickles. What is your significant other's least favorite food? Melons.
What is my least favorite food? Well, when I was in Spain, my host family made me tripe soup from sheep stomach, and it was the only thing I haven't been able to finish in my life. What is your significant other's most irrational fear? Um, Onions.
What is my most irrational fear? I don't have irrational fears. They're all rational. It's okay. What is your significant other's most irrational fear? Getting caught for anything, or getting in trouble for anything, or more generally, any type of authority figure.
What is my most irrational fear? Failing out of med school and spiders. What is your significant other's most annoying habit? Farting all the time.
What is my most annoying habit? Well, A, that I'm messy, and B, that I can be stinky too sometimes. What is your significant other's most annoying habit? You probably shouldn't ask me this one. Leaving too much solid toothpaste in the sink, leaving the toilet seat up, drooling on the bed, sweating on the bed. Oh my god, I could go on and on.
What is my most annoying habit? Probably obsessing on things and not being able to get them out of my mind. What's the longest amount of time you've ever been away from your significant other? Natalie is going to say 2 months when I was away in Italy, but she's wrong. The longest time I've ever been away from my significant other was the 15 years from my conception to the day that I met her.
What's the longest amount of time you've been away from your significant other? This one is fact. It was a summer entirely, basically, when he was in Rome.
What is your significant other's favorite dessert? I think it is a chocolate peanut butter malt.
What is your favorite dessert? First thought, all of them. Second thought, decadent chocolate cake. And not the kind that's spongy, but the kind that's delicious. What is your significant other's favorite dessert? Key lime pie.
What's my favorite dessert? Key lime pie. What was your significant other's toughest or most hated class? Physics.
What is my most hated class? Physics. High school physics, which guess who made me take? Alex. Yeah.
What was my toughest, most hated class? So see, for me, these are different. So my toughest class was transport in biomedical engineering third year. My most hated class, let's go with nope. It was at Eden Prairie High School. It was U.S. history.
What is your significant other's toughest, most hated class? First time taking neuroscience.
What is your significant other's favorite song? Lemon Tree, or something like that.
What is my favorite song? The Yellow Lemon Tree song. What is your significant other's favorite song? I don't really know, but I think he enjoys a particular Owl City song that talks about kissing people between the ears of corn, and it's a pun, and it's campy and fun, and I like it too.
What's my favorite song? Beans and cornbread. Beans and cornbread. Where did you first meet? Specifics and activity. And what was your impression of your significant other? Okay, so I actually have video evidence that the first time I met um, Natalie was on the ISM retreat, and we were sitting at a table playing cards, and I didn't think anything of her at the time.
Where did you first meet? Specifics, activity, and what was your impression of your significant other? Well, I'd kind of seen him around in the school, and I didn't really have too much of an impression. He was just kind of another person at school. But then we were on the same DI team, and I don't particularly remember the first time that I met him there, but the first thing that made an impression was when we did our first instant challenge, and he was playing with this prop, or well, not playing, but acting with this prop, which was a broom, one of the like a broom in a dustpan, and he rolled with it, like he did like a somersault roll with it and broke it because he was trying so very hard to be funny, and that was pretty cute.
What is your significant other's favorite type of juice? I think it could be orange juice.
What is your favorite type of juice? I actually know Alex's favorite type of juice better than I know my favorite type of juice. But now that I have to think about it, I'm going to say coconut juice, even though I never have it. But it's really good.
So what's my favorite type of juice, huh? Um, my favorite kind of juice probably is grapefruit juice.
What is your significant other's favorite type of juice? Grapefruit.
What is the last thing your significant other does before she goes to bed? We can't talk about it on tape.
What is the last thing your significant other does before he or she goes to bed? We always make each other a very nice ice water, which is generally shortened to a nice water, and then we drink it. So he either makes a nice water, or he drinks it, or both.
Okay, so what's the last thing I do before I go to sleep? I drink a glass of ice water and I give Natalie a pat on her back. What is your significant other's most quirky characteristic? Um, she will hump things in an aggressive capacity, not in a sexual capacity, but to assert dominance.
What is my most quirky characteristic? Um, I can't decide if that should be appropriate or not. What is my most quirky characteristic? Do you want the inappropriate answer? Well, then I would say that would be dry humping Alex out of dominance for no sexual reason, but to be funny and dominant. What is your significant other's most quirky characteristic? Well, he's generally a pretty quirky person, but sometimes he gets into these laughing fits that he gets directly from his mother. She does the same thing, and he just does not stop. He just keeps laughing forever, and he's like a psychopath looking when he does it. And you should really see it sometime. It's kind of fun to watch.
Okay, what is my most quirky characteristic? I think it's that I only eat like seeds or M&Ms or whatever in even numbers.
Alright, that concludes our interviews with Natalie and Alex. I hope you enjoyed it as thoroughly as I did. And we have some outtakes from our recordings, so here you go.
How do you believe your significant other has changed the most? No. What is your significant other's favorite desert? Her favorite desert is by far the Sahara Desert.
How does your significant other like their coffee? No, let's do it over. Where did you first meet, specifics, activity, and what was your impression of your significant other?
In the butt. How do I believe I have changed the most over the last 7 years that I've dated Natalie? Well, I got fat.